What separates a mere building from a piece of architecture? What is the secret that has allowed structures like the Pantheon in Rome to not only stand for 2 millennia but to continue to take over? Hathaway, the answer was written down over 2,000 years ago by the Roman architect Vitruvius. He defined the three essential qualities that any great work of architecture must possess: Firmitas, Utilitas, and Venustas: strength, functionality, and beauty. This isn't just a historical footnote, it is the living, breathing DNA of every successful building. From the humblest home to the tallest skyscraper, in this video, we're deconstructing this timeless triad. We'll explore how these three principles interact, conflict, and ultimately depend on one another to create spaces that are safe, useful, and soul-stirring. By the end, you'll have a powerful framework to analyze any building and understand the very essence of what makes architecture an art and a science. Let's start with the foundation of all architecture: strength, or Firmitas. This is the non-negotiable principle. A building must stand up. It must resist gravity, wind, earthquakes, and the relentless passage of time. But strength in architecture isn't just about brute force. It's about intelligent application of material and form. The Roman Pantheon, with its revolutionary coffered concrete dome, demonstrates this perfectly. The Romans didn't just pour concrete. They used progressively lighter aggregate as the dome rose and created the coffers to reduce weight without sacrificing structural depth, all while placing an oculus at the top to eliminate the most unstable point of a dome. In the modern world, strength is achieved through steel frames that flex in earthquakes, deep foundations that anchor skyscrapers, and sophisticated engineering software that models every load. A pro tip from structural engineers is that true strength lies in creating a resilient load path, a clear, continuous route for all forces to travel safely to the ground. However, a common and catastrophic drafting mistake is to prioritize a bold architectural form without a feasible structural strategy, leading to compromises that weaken either the design or the building's integrity. Strength is the silent guardian that allows the other two principles to exist. The second principle is functionality, or utilitas. This is the principle that asks, what is this building for? A beautiful, solid building that fails to serve its purpose is a monumental failure. Functionality is about the intelligent, efficient, and humane organization of space. It encompasses everything from the flow of people through a museum, to the acoustics in a concert hall, to the amount of natural light in an office. The great modernist architect Louis Sullivan later coined the phrase "form follows function," which became a mantra for the 20th century, arguing that a building's shape should be a direct result of its purpose. Think of a hospital. Form the wide corridors, the location of operating rooms. The placement of nursing stations is utterly dictated by the function of saving lives and facilitating care. A pro tip for achieving great functionality is to practice user-centered design. This means obsessively thinking from the perspective of the person who will use the space every day. How does a parent with a stroller navigate this entrance? Where will the restaurant kitchen staff take out the trash? This deep empathy separates good architecture from great architecture. The efficient workflow secret is that when a building functions seamlessly, it becomes invisible. People feel comfortable and productive without even knowing why. Now we come to the most debated and subjective principle: beauty, or Venustas. This is what elevates a building from mere shelter to art. But what is architectural beauty? It's not merely decoration or a pretty facade. True Venustas is the powerful, emotional response a building elicits. It can come from proportion, like the golden ratio found in classical and Renaissance buildings. It can come from the honest expression of materials, like the rough texture of board-formed concrete or the sleek jointness of a glass curtain wall. Can come from the masterful play of light and shadow within a space. Beauty is what gives a building its soul and connects it to its cultural and environmental context. A common misconception is that beauty is a luxury that can be sacrificed for budget or function. But the psychological impact of our built environment is profound. Beautiful spaces with good proportions, natural light, and a connection to nature have been shown to improve well-being, productivity, and even healing rates in hospitals. The challenge, and the art, is to integrate beauty with strength and function, not treat it as an afterthought. The magic of architecture doesn't lie in excelling at just one of these principles, but in the synthesis of all three. They are not a checklist, they are an interconnected system. A beautifully cantilevered roof beauty must be structurally sound strength to protect the space below functionality. The elegant, exposed structure of a cathedral's vault strength is also its primary source of aesthetic beauty and defines the spatial experience for worship functionality. When one principle is neglected, the entire structure suffers. A building that is strong and functional but ugly feels oppressive and inhuman. A building that is beautiful and strong but dysfunctional is a sculptural folly, not a place for life. A building that is functional and beautiful but weak is a ticking time bomb. The greatest architects in history, from Brunelleschi to Zaha Hadid, are those who found a unique and powerful balance between these three core demands. To summarize, the key takeaways: 1. Strength. Firmitas is the foundational requirement of structural integrity and durability. 2. Functionality. Utilitas is the intelligent and empathetic organization of space for human use. 3. Beauty. Venustas is the aesthetic quality that creates an emotional connection and gives a building its soul. And 4. True architectural mastery is the seamless and innovative integration of all three. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, can you think of a building that you believe perfectly balances strength, functionality, and beauty? What about one that fails spectacularly at one of them? Your examples will bring this ancient theory to life. If this exploration of architecture's core principles has given you a new lens to see the built world, please give this video a like and subscribe.